What three voltages are commonly provided by your power supply to the various components inside of your computer? So computer case, if you're not familiar with it, you have your big case, and then typically the power supply is on the bottom, and you'll have cables running out to the CPU, a couple cables that go to the CPU. Then you have cables that go to your GPU, and then you could have cables going to fans or SATA cables to power your SSDs and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of things that need power, and a lot of these devices run at different voltages. Fans can be high voltage, low current. Other peripherals like USBs you plug in, the ports itself to power them might be lower voltage. So let's take a look at it. What are the three voltages that are commonly provided? 24 volts is a lot of volts. That is not going to be what's supplied by your standard power supply that you're putting in the computer. Remember, coming off of a wall, it's about 110 volts. So 24 volts, no. 48 volts is way too much. It's times that. Fun fact, okay, let me know if you've made it this far in the video by leaving a comment below. I currently am 24 years old. My girlfriend is 48 years old. So it's funny that those two are right there. But let me know in the comments below if you made it this far. We're about to go over the answer. Let's axe out another one that's incorrect. I'm just going to say 9 volts, and that's just because 9 volts isn't really a standard anywhere. You're not really going to see anything using 9 volts of power. You can think of it as 9-volt batteries. The 9 volt belongs to the batteries, not inside your computer case. That's how I like to think of it. So the only one left is 3.3 volts. What takes 3.3 volts? Your CPU. So there is a cable that goes from your PSU or power supply unit into the motherboard, but that is to power the CPU. That's 3.3 volts. You have 5 volts for motherboard components, and that's just going to be like your USBs that you plug in, or LEDs on the motherboard, fans you could plug into the motherboard, lighting you could plug in the motherboard. 5 volts is for your motherboard components. So I'm thinking of this as we're stepping up. So CPU, small, boom, 3.3 volts. Motherboard, a little bit bigger, 5 volts, even 5 volts. And the next is going to be 12 volts. And that is for like disk drives. So your SATA cables that are coming out. That's going to be power your hard drives, your solid state drives, and so on and so forth. So that's how I would look at this question, and that's how I would solve it. The three voltages commonly provided by the power supply to the various components inside your computer are going to be 3.3 volts, 5 volts, and 12 volt. 12 volt is pretty standard, and then you just have to remember 3.3 volts and 5 volts.